Hi, I'm Delegate Shaneka Henson, Delegate for District 30A. I want to congratulate all of our students for making it to the last day of school, all of our parents who have become teachers for making it to the last day of school, and for everyone who supports a student for making it to the last day of school today. There are over 18,000 people that are under the age of 19 and under. We have over 18,000 residents in District 30A that are 19 through birth. And we have over 7,000 students in the Annapolis cluster for Anne Arundel County Public Schools. So we know that this is a tremendous accomplishment, and that all over the district there are the tiny sounds of people who are just shutting their laptop screens and are taking the day off and are happy to have completed the final round of distance learning. So once school is out, what does that mean? That means that our youth serving nonprofits become more critical, more vital than ever to the students, to the families, to the youth in our district. So what we did was sat down and spoke to some of them about what's going on, about what challenges they faced during COVID-19, about what's on the horizon for their organization, about the things that they've always been working on and the things that they hope to work on in the future. So I have some of them that are on the line tonight. They are not here for me, they are here for you. So if you're watching this video, I'm going to ask that you share it right now. Share it so that not just you get this great information, but so that everyone that you know gets this information. If there is a teenager in your life, if there is a young person in your life, a student in your life who could benefit from knowing what's going on and what's available over the summer, share this video because it's going to be great. So what I'm going to do first is let you know who is on the line. When I sat down for this discussion, I got a chance to speak with Laura Iverson, who is the Executive Director for STARE. I got a chance to speak with Pastor Menendez, who's the Executive Director for Restoration Community Development Corporation. Got a chance to speak with Najiba Halemi, who directs Seeds for Success. Pastor Steve Poole, who works with Creating Communities. I got a chance to speak with Rob as well. That was just a fun conversation. And then Linda Mundy at Charting Careers. Kirsten Clark over at the Center of Help, and then also with Lisa-Mondoro at the Boys and Girls Club, and with Townsend McNitt, who's representing Backpack Buddies and the Friends of Stanton Center youth programs. So everybody's going to come on and let you know what their organization is doing this summer. So share this video so that all the parents you know who have turned themselves, they've transformed into hardworking teachers. So now they can get a little bit of break and somebody else can have some programming for the youth that's in their life. So the first question that I'm going to ask our panelists, and each of them is going to ask, so if you have a favorite, just stay tuned. They're going to come and answer your question. The first one that I'm going to ask is, how does your organization support, so the first thing that I'm going to want to know is, how does your organization support, or who does your organization support? When it's, I think I see Laura there. Excellent. Laura, how are you? Hi. Oh, I can see you, but I can't hear you. Oh no. I see. Oh, that's better. That's great. Excellent. So Laura, the first question is, I want to know, tell me a little bit about STARE. Tell me who STARE supports. Tell me how, who's the students in STARE. Tell me what STARE does.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I had some technology issues, but I won't let that delay us. So STARE's mission is specific to second graders and reading. The reason why we serve second graders is because research shows that if a child is not reading by second grade, they could potentially be significantly behind with the pace of education by third grade. So STARE's mission is simply to increase the reading level of second graders reading below grade level, to increase the student's sense of self-esteem and self-confidence, and provide a caring environment where reading is fun. We serve 100 plus second graders in Anne Arundel County Public Schools. This is STARE's 15th year with one-on-one reading tutoring, where we bring volunteer tutors to 12 different sites, and students are selected by their school reading specialist where they then meet with those tutors one-on-one after school twice weekly for the entire duration of the school year. So the STAIR program is a supplement to the curriculum that they're getting in the public school system. It is heavily focused on phonics and phonemic awareness, where accuracy, fluency, and comprehension are individualized, customized, and measured. And we have a wonderful success rate where the students come in reading at kindergarten and first grade levels, and they end the year reading on grade level or above. So as a volunteer powered organization, we are delighted with the success of our students, and we're very excited to get back to them as soon as possible.
That's outstanding. That sounds like transformative work. Like it's so just rewarding to do and to just see the kids really transform over the year. Thank you so much for joining us, Laura, and for all the work you guys are doing at STAIR. So I'm going to go to our next panelist. We have Pastor Menendez. Pastor Menendez, tell us about RCDC and what it is that your organization does.
Thank you. And I hope you can hear me because I've had some technology challenges as well. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Well, Restoration Community Development Corporation has been in existence in the city of Annapolis and Anne Arundel County for over 28 years now. We actually have an MOU with Anne Arundel County Public Schools. We're one of the only organizations that really have an MOU with Anne Arundel County Public Schools. We started with our YES program, Gems and Jewels, and currently in the city of Annapolis, we are actually in the Robinwood location where we have built because of behavioral health and the governor's office identifying ages 11 to 17 with this particular statistics. It can be because of the drugs, it could be because of mental health, it could be because of any of those things. However, we have been able over the last 7 years to provide for the community. It's not just Robinwood, all of the housing communities, all of the communities in the 21401 or 21403 zip codes, ages 11 to 17. We meet 5 days a week with the students. We pick them up. We provide, of course, hot meals for them. We're doing a program right now that is actually an evidence-based program called BOTVIN. It's actually done in quite a few of the schools in the state of Maryland. So it provides for us is self-awareness, social awareness, relationship skills, responsibility, decision making, and we also provide peer support specialists for our students. They get the opportunity to go on all types of trips. We opened up last year a music studio, which is the first and only music studio in the history of HUD in the state of Maryland and possibly in the United States. We provide homework assistance. Earlier this year, last year, we purchased about 20 Chromebooks. So we were ahead of the game and we purchased Chromebooks so the students can actually do homework. We have art, you name it, it's there for the children. We actually have the opportunity to go on the school campuses. We can get the students' grades. We speak with the parents because we know without the parent involvement that we are not going to be successful. So the BOTVIN program is one of our newer programs that we were taught through the University of Maryland. And because of the state of Maryland from the governor's office through behavioral health. We also do a STEM camp. As a matter of fact, we're interested in, of course, having other students to come in. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but some of the other things that we do, of course, are the self-esteem issues, dealing with students because we really understand that trauma, and we deal a lot with the ACEs, the adverse childhood experiences, because we understand that if children are wounded and if they are enduring trauma, then they're not going to be successful. We also provide for the students, of course, the meals, the actual groups that we do in the community and have been doing them before COVID was to provide 8 to 10 pounds of food that we bring into the community to give out to our parents, to our students, for those who come in And we're really excited about the success. How many students we have? We have over 113 students that are enrolled in our program. We can take about 25 at any given day and time. We also provide the transportation to those children to and from our program. There's a lot more, but I'm going to be quiet and give time for the next person. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Menendez. That sounds like just an incredible amount of work that you guys are doing there at RCDC over in the Robinwood community. So thank you for joining us today. I'm looking forward to the discussion. Pastor Steve, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Delegate Henson. I am here representing Creating Communities. I'm the program director. Rob Levitt is our actual director for the program, but he's not able to be with us. And so I hope I don't mess up and not say the right things for him tonight. But Creating Communities is an organization that has been in existence for over 13 years. Matter of fact, we have this year seen one of our first students that was involved with us who has graduated and is now on the board at Creating Communities. And so that's exciting for us. We've seen students that have gone through the program and have gone on to college, and we're so excited for them. And so it's kind of a sad time of the year when we see that some of our students were supposed to graduate this year and they didn't get to have their graduation. And so, you know, we kind of hurt with them through that process. But our programs have multifaceted involvement throughout the county. A lot of them are focused here in the city of Annapolis. We work with the Housing Authority of the city of Annapolis with after-school programs for kids K through 6. We do work with elementary schools directly, such as Georgetown East, Mills Parole, and have programs. We focus a lot on art and STEM to help encourage students to see that they have other avenues to be able to share their creativity, to be able to show others about the things that are going on in their own life and to express themselves through those. And so it's exciting to see them working, whether they're doing STEM projects with Legos or with the Rube Goldberg machines, or all kinds of exciting things that they can do. And then the art that they create. We've been involved in having students actually create art and put them up in places such as the Eastport Terrace Harbor House, Robinwood Center. This past year, we also had a photography club at Robinwood. And so we have been working through quite a few varied avenues during the school year, as well as at Marley Elementary. During the summers, we usually have our Arts Mentorship Academy at Maryland Hall, and it was a great opportunity for us to be able to serve over 100 students from low-income, underserved communities with a 100% scholarship-free activity for them to come and be able to experience art, music, dance, which we call movement because most of the kids don't like to hear the word dance, especially the guys. And we've done drama, and we have STEM activities for them during this. And then they put on a show on stage at Maryland Hall for their parents, their grandparents, for relatives, or for people in the community to come. And it's supported by so many people in the community. It's just an amazing thing that has happened for 13 years. Unfortunately, we're not able to do it this year. So we have some other plans, which I'll talk about in a moment.
That's amazing. Wow. What sounds like a lot of fun. On the line, we have people covering the bases, and Linda's joined us. Linda, thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about Charting Careers and the great work that you guys are doing there? Oh, Linda, you're still on mute. So I think I can hear Pastor Steve, but I can't hear Linda. And still no. Okay, Linda, I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to go to Townsend. Townsend, are you able to unmute? Let's see. Can I hear Townsend?
Yes.
Hi, excellent.
Hi.
Thanks for joining. How are you?
I am well. It is a pleasure to be here with you, Delegate Henson, and with all of your guests. So thank you so much for inviting me to share a little bit about the work that we have been doing. I am the coordinator for Backpack Buddies at Annapolis Elementary School. And we started that program 9 years ago. And what it does is give healthy food to families in the Annapolis Elementary School community every Friday throughout the school year, as well as the fixings for holiday dinners around Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter. So that's what our overall mission is, to feed about up to 70 children a year, and that represents usually about 45 families. Now, this year, we obviously weren't able to continue serving kids in that way when the schools closed, but because Annapolis Elementary School was very committed to helping us continue serving, we were able to get into the school and move our entire pantry, which was quite a bit of food, over to the Stanton Center, where they graciously hosted us and allowed people to continue getting fed really from when school closed throughout the remainder of the school year. So we were able to continue serving the Backpack Buddies families. And so that's what we do. I also am very honored to work with a program which helps support the work that goes on at the Stanton Center with youth programming, and that's called Friends of the Stanton Center. And we support the Homework Club there, which is a group that meets Monday to Thursday for about an hour and a half each day to help do one-on-one tutoring with elementary school students as well as middle school students. So that's what I'm here to tell you all about. Oh, I've lost your sound now.
Oh, sorry. I was talking to myself. I can't wait to thank you, Townsend. That sounds like great work. Linda, are we able to hear you? Let's see. Well, if you can hear us, Linda, start talking at any time that you can unmute your mic, and then we'll take it from there. That sounds like great work. I think we have Kirsten on as well from Center of Help. Kirsten, are you able to tell us a little bit about Center of Help and all the work that you guys are doing there? That I think a lot of people know about the work that you guys do that services adults, but I don't know that the work that Center of Help does for the youth in Annapolis is as well known. I know it wasn't to me until I really got a chance to sit down and hear so much about what you're doing. The scope of what you're covering is amazing. Kirsten, are you able to tell us a little bit about Center of Help's work with the youth in Annapolis?
Yes, thank you, Delegate Henson. It's an honor to be here with so many other great organizations doing so many good things for the youth in Annapolis. The Center of Help actually runs 2 youth programs. So we have our Leadership and Learning program, which happens on Saturday mornings and Wednesday evenings. And in the Leadership and Learning program, we do a lot of academic enrichment programming, primarily STEM, but also with art and reading integration for 6 to 16-year-olds. We work primarily with immigrant families. We also have a program that's called the Maria de la Paz Youth Outreach Program, which happens 5 days a week from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. So after school, the youth come to the center and we try to provide wraparound services, try to create a safe space for these youth who are growing up to grow in academics, but they also set personalized goals. So our education coordinator actually sits down with each family once a month to set and evaluate the youth's progress towards those goals. So they can be academic goals, but they can also be personal goals. They can be related to health. They can be related to their mental health, their personality traits, whatever the youth and their families identify as areas that they want to grow in, we will support them in that. And so they have scheduled activities, art, homework help. We also partner with Magnesium to do math tutoring. But in addition, they have some free time periods where they can work towards those individualized goals. We also try to address the mental health piece, and so they do a lot of communication activities, a lot of community building within that program, and we have a pro bono mental health professional who will work with our youth one-on-one if it is needed.
Again, I'm sorry. That sounds like great work, Kirsten. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
of what you're doing there. I think we have Linda back with us as well. Linda, are you able to tell us what Charting Careers does and who is the age group that you service and what work you guys are doing there?
Yes. Can you hear me now? All right. So Charting Careers is almost 2 years old. Our mission is to break the cycle of poverty in Annapolis by working with youth and their families. And we basically provide one-to-one mentoring for our middle school program and our high school program. We have about 10 students in each one of those programs. And then we also have a tutoring program for our elementary school program. So it's a curriculum that covers from 3rd grade, which kind of is where Laura leaves off. Laura does 2nd grade, STAIR, and then 3rd grade on through high school and beyond. We actually are working with several students that we started with that are beyond high school at this point.
Excellent. Thank you. Sounds like great work to have such a broad age range that you service, that you guys can really follow children for a long time. And speaking of organizations that follow kids for a long time, we were joined by Najiba from Seeds for Success. So Najiba, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Sorry I'm late, everyone.
Will you start off by telling us just a little about what Seeds for Success does?
Yeah, sure. So we are an after-school academic program. We serve youth from kindergarten, pre-K, all the way up to 12th grade. And then we have some kids who are in college that are continuing on with their mentors. Essentially, we bridge the information gap, the relationship gap. We pair all of our kids in the program with the tutor one-on-one, and then we pair them with the mentor one-on-one too. And through those two relationships, they're able to find success in school and then eventually find a path after high school into some sort of career field.
That's excellent. Wow. So the last program that we have on that hasn't introduced yet and given us a preview of what it is that they do is the Boys and Girls Club. Do we have Lisa still on with us? Lindsay-Mondoro. Lisa, if you're on.
I'm here. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to be the caboose to this wonderful group of nonprofits and organizations that are working with the youth in Annapolis and throughout Anne Arundel County. Thank you, Shaneka, for Delegate Henson for introducing us and letting Boys and Girls Club be a part of this platform tonight. Before I tell you about who we are and what we do, congratulations to every student through in Anne Arundel County Public Schools who have moved on into the next realm. We don't know what that looks like yet, but hopefully we'll all be there helping each other along the way. A little bit about Boys and Girls Club. Boys and Girls Clubs of Annapolis and Anne Arundel County have been in this area for over 32 years. Our first club was opened in the Bywater community, and I'm happy to say we're still there and very active. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Annapolis and Anne Arundel County, for those who might not know, we are a federated model of the Boys and Girls Club of America. So we are our own nonprofit, our own 501c3, but we get a lot of wonderful resources and connections through being under the Boys and Girls Club of America. Currently, we have 6 independent clubhouses in Anne Arundel County, and that's something we're really excited about. We have the opportunity to serve youth in our own spaces. We have youth. Last year, we were served over 800 youth in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County in our out-of-school time programs. We serve youth ages 6 to 18 in our programs, and we also serve youth after, as long as they're enrolled in college or any type of educational program through our junior staff career development program. We focus on our three priority outcomes through our formula for impact, serving our youth, focusing on their academic success, meaning that they are transitioning with their peers to the next grade level, that they graduate graduate from high school on time, and that they have a plan for their future. That's something really important, getting them not only just to get to graduation, have that wonderful milestone, but that we are working with them so that they have a plan for their future. We also focus on good character and citizenship, which is making sure that they are actively engaged in their community, that they are giving back to their community, and that they, at the time, are registered to vote and can communicate throughout the world in their ideas, as well as focusing on programs in healthy lifestyles. So healthy lifestyles for us is not just what working out or doing fun activities and sports and rec and eating healthy. It's also their emotional health, and what's happening now, it's more important than ever. So that's what we do.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lisa. If you have heard anything that you think could be beneficial to any youth that you know, to anyone that you know in Annapolis, share this video now, because what this conversation is about to go into is how each of these programs has had to change their operating model to accommodate what's happened in COVID-19. We know that COVID-19 wasn't just a health crisis, but it also became an economic crisis. And with that came a lot of businesses that were shut down. It required us to change our operating models for the way that we do pretty much everything. And each of the organizations on the line has also had to change things about the way that they operate to accommodate the safety regulations and restrictions that are in place. So if you know anyone who has kids and they're looking for what's next for them, or they want to just understand what are some good practices or how can we all be dynamic, share this video so that the most people as possible can get access to the good information to understand what groups are doing to be responsive to the youth that are in this area. So that's going to be the next question for each of our panelists. How, if at all, has your organization changed during COVID-19 to respond to your operating model? What have you done to change what you do? So I'll start again with Laura. If Laura's on the line still, Laura, I'll ask you about STAIR. I know that your model that you have there is a tutoring model where you all do a lot of one-to-one services with kids. So I'm interested to know how, if at all, STAIR has had to make any changes to accommodate COVID-19. We can hear you, Laura. Oh, you can't hear us? Okay, so then we'll come back to Laura. So what I'll do is I'll go kind of in the order that I can see everybody, and I'll go over to Seeds for Success. Najiba, can you tell us what Seeds has done, or if it's changed your operating model at all with having the different restrictions in place for COVID-19? You're on mute.
Sorry, we're learning to be all electronic. As I say that, I'm on mute. So all of our kids have been provided with Chromebooks. And with that, we set them all up with their Google accounts. Some already have some through their school system, so we set them up with additional accounts, and we've been able to video conference with them. So we moved all of our programming online. They're still meeting with us weekly through these groups that they're supposed to meet with, the boys, the girls, and then the high school program. And we've actually extended the length of our program. Typically, we would end around April, early June, but we decided to continue on until probably July or maybe even August. The topics of discussion we have are similar. We talk about careers. Actually, last week, the kids had a presenter from, I think, Brazil, or either Brazil or Belize. I can't remember which one. And they had a workshop on wildlife, and they actually got to see, I think, an alligator or something. So we're still continuing our programming, but now it's virtual. And what's most important is that the kids are in touch with us. We don't want them to feel like they're alone or that there's no one there. And this consistency and some structure in their lives right now is really important. So we're happy to keep continuing online for as long as we need to.
Awesome. So Laura, are you able to hear us? I'm going to take that as a no. Talk about virtual. I'm going to go to Pastor Steve. I'm interested to know how you guys take a model that does a lot of arts and how you transform that in a structure where we have to do things more with less contact. So how creating communities changed at all with coronavirus?
Yeah, well, thank you. We actually struggled with that at the beginning. We looked at what were the main issues that the children were going to be facing. And one of the first things that we did were to provide art supplies for children that were living in the area around Newtown 20, because we had heard that a lot of these children did not even have the supplies at home to be able to do their cultural arts work online that they were being asked to do through the public school system. And so we did that first. Then we also realized that a lot of the children were not able to get the healthy snacks that they were used to. So we started providing healthy snacks in several different communities as well. That progressed us into actually providing vegetables and fruit and some other food supplies to several different communities. We have twice now been to the Mills Parole Elementary School, where we've handed out over 500 boxes of vegetables and fruit. And Delegate Henson, we're so thankful that you were there to help us out with one this week, to be able to hand out. Over 250 families were helped because of the work that we were able to do, and the partnerships that we've been able to build through other organizations that have helped us out to be able to do this. And we're so thankful that that has worked out. Our goal is to always be able to get into those underserved communities and help them where they are needed the most. I think you're still muted.
Thank you. That you all were addressing as well. Kids with their nutrition needs too is amazing, because I don't know that we think about all the different details once school was no longer in play. All the things that our students have had to adjust to. And we have done a lot to plan for the adults to make sure that there's resources and assistance. But our children have lost a lot in terms of youth sports, in terms of activities, social emotional connections. So hearing how each of you has really plugged in is this is incredible. I'm next going to go to Lisa. Lisa, can you let us know how the Boys and Girls Club has changed the operating model there, if at all, with Corona being in play?
Absolutely. One of the things that we had to deal with was the fact that we are site-based. On March 13th, we had to close down shop. We had to shut our doors. But knowing that we needed to be and continue to serve our youth, we got ourselves together, got resources together, and within 2 weeks we were up and running on our website with virtual programming. In fact, you don't have to be a Boys and Girls Club member, so anyone can go onto our website. For parents who are out there listening, and they can log into our virtual programming. We have our club directors and volunteers they read books every week. We also have yoga. We have STEM activities that kids can do. So we got in online right away. We also started doing within 2 weeks what we call our Club on the Go bags. So we are a food distribution site for all our clubs. When we are in our previous normal, we served a meal every evening to every club member, but we knew that since we weren't going to be open, we needed to continue that. So with the partnership with the Maryland Food Bank, we every week hand out a Club on the Go bag that has a week's worth of shelf-stable breakfast items and a week's worth of shelf-stable snack items. We knew that many of our communities were not able to have the capacity to have multiple devices and get on virtually. So we made Xerox copies of activities and things that our youth can do during the week, as well as handouts and flyers from fellow nonprofits so that their community. We also did a survey of our parents, and we found out, and we asked them, what do you need? What do you need? What can we provide? And we learned that a lot of them needed, especially our teens, were looking for personal hygiene items. So we sought out a grant and we received personal hygiene items and stuffed the bags full of personal hygiene items such as mouthwash, toothpaste, deodorant, things that our club members might need. And we've also found out that they needed cleaning supplies and laundry detergent. So we just got our shipment of that. So next week, our Club on the Go bags with all the other things will also be stuffed with cleaning products and laundry detergent. If you're working on a fixed income, let alone during COVID, if you may be out of work, these are items that sometimes aren't provided and our families need that. We also worked with the Maryland Food Bank to provide food giveaways at 2 of our communities. One was in Bywater and one was at our Mead Village. And we're going to be having another one next week so that families can come and receive food from the Maryland Food Bank, boxes of food. So we're trying to do everything we can. One of the things we noticed is that our teens seem to be really struggling at this time. There's a lot going on in the world. Our teens are angry. Our teens need us more than ever, need all of us. When I say us, I mean all of these nonprofits that are there. So we started doing virtual programming, which are synchronized programming so that they are logged in with club directors and we safety's first. So there's always 2 adults on the line, and we're doing our programs remotely. Our Passport to Manhood, our Smart Girls, we're giving our youth a chance to talk, express themselves, and we're moving in that direction for more and more programs.
Oh, wow, Lisa, that is a lot to be able to respond to in a dynamic way like that, and to not only have just the kids in mind, but the entire families as well. That is great. That sounds like great work. Can I just personal privilege and give a shout out to the Maryland Food Bank for being an amazing partner for the nonprofits and for really having a great system of being able to meet needs in communities. Can I go to Pastor Menendez next? Pastor Menendez, are you able to hear me?
I hear you. I hope I'm unmuted.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Can you let us
Well,
know with the work that you're doing in Robinwood, how if all that's changed during COVID-19?
The only thing that has actually changed is the number of students that we can actually take. But I am essential service. So we are actually a Maryland Food Bank pantry because not only do I have Annapolis, but I have the Brooklyn Park and the North County area as well. So what we've actually done is that for the first part of it, because we have like a 4,000 square foot building in Brooklyn, we transported some of our students there because of the fact that the housing authority, of course, was unable to take children into the actual facility, our actual facility there. So we transported groups, 10, because we have a large enough facility there to do the social distancing or the physical distancing and all of those things that take place. So it's been wonderful, but now we are working with HACA and we will be coming back. And we are back actually outside. So what we've done is to purchase, we have tents, we have tables. We've just purchased a 130-inch, I think, blowable screen so that we can actually do work and do sessions there. Plus the fact we are starting our own drone club. It will be year round. We've ordered 25 kits. We have an organization that will actually be teaching online drone and how to build one. And in addition to that, how we can have the children have a marketing plan. They're going to teach them how to make a marketing plan. They'll be online with them 2 days a week. I am so excited about that. And the reason I'm excited for many, many reasons. But first of all, we have to come back to the fact, and I've heard it mentioned several times, that we're in a new normal. These children who are already in trauma and are already having issues. I have actual clinical therapists that's a part of my team, Tina Huntley. And let me say this to you, and I'm sure you all are aware that the increase in mental health issues, the increase in trauma, the increase in domestic domestic violence, the increase in overdoses and drug use takes precedent over a whole lot of things right now. So while we're trying to want the children to learn, they're trying to figure out how do they exist? What's happened to them in this day and this age? So we're trying to provide things that would help them, giving them an opportunity to talk face to face and saying what they're feeling. And I'm really blessed that we have this opportunity with behavioral health, because I've been with the health department, partnering with them for over 21 years now. But behavioral health we've had for 7 years. And of course, I was actually on the board for mental health for Anne Arundel County. But what I'm seeing happening is that the more we can provide allow them to share what they're feeling, what's really going on inside of them right now, without any barriers. Let them say if they want to say, and I don't use profanity, but if you're mad as hell, say it. We don't care. Let's just get these children to talk. We don't want them to shut down. Because of the communities that we serve, we're also doing things about African American culture. When a child knows who they are, because we have a large percentage of African Americans that are part of our program, when they know who they are and whose they are, that helps them to manage some things a little bit better. In addition, we're working with HACA. It's not finalized yet, but we're trying to work between the HACA and the city to open a food pantry in Robinwood. We're working to do that because what we want the children to do is to learn about healthy eating. We know that it's the oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin that the children don't have in their brains yet. It starts coming in at age 12, not completed until age 25 to 26. That helps them to make right decisions. But if they still are not eating properly, we did a study with the University of Maryland and the actual health department 2 years ago with Anheuser-Busch, and that's how we got started opening our first food pantry that is in Brooklyn Park, which has been open every Monday officially for the last almost 2 years. And while I'm talking about food, we've been in Annapolis, and thank you, Delegate Henson, for coming out, and Senator Elfridge and Dana Jones for coming out and helping us. I just want you to say, over the last 8 weeks, we have given out more than 60 to 70,000 pounds of food. And we don't give out junk. I mean, you've been there, Delegate. We give out good, healthy food. Plus, I have partners with the Y of Central Maryland and some other partners who gave us like 2,000 pounds of Purdue chicken. And so we've been able to provide the protein, the vegetables, everything that they need. In addition, I have a cordon bleu chef, Sam, who's been with me for about 5 to 6 years now. Our goal is to teach healthy cooking. We do it in Brooklyn at Brooklyn Park Middle, and our schools have been amazing partners for us. I will say, and this is just a little plug, our program was selected by Anne Arundel County Public Schools as Partners of the Year through Anne Arundel County Public Schools and the 21st Century Foundation. And there was supposed to be an award ceremony on the 23rd of June, but of course that has been delayed. In addition to that, we have an organization that will take us to Hampstead, Maryland, that we can take children to an actual farm, teaching them about farming. We have in our Brooklyn Park location a piece of land that was given to us, or we share with Anne Arundel County Parks and Recs, that through the health department as well, we are learning how to plant fruits and vegetables. They've come out and taught us what it is that we need to do, and we're looking forward to going back to that. Plus, in addition, with our partnership with Anne Arundel County Public Schools, we are the 8th school. So we are the alternate school, the same one that the Boys and Girls Club, we are the one for North County. So children can come. We have several schools with the principal and administrator, and we're really excited about that. One of the other things I want to mention is the fact that we will be in Robinwood on the 25th, which is next week after next. We will be back in Annapolis for several more events that we're going to be taking place at Pitt Morier, also Whitmore Park. We just left Woodside Gardens yesterday, where we fed over 500 people and over 1,400 family members. We were happy to see.
Right.
It's been, and when you were with us, Delegate Henson, we call it the miracle.
Yes.
Yes, you know what I'm about to talk about. But thank you for your support there that day. In case you did not get the information, we served 600 families, 2,555 family members.
Amazing.
So we are really excited about that. And as we're talking, I want to share with our Gems and Jewels program that has been around for about, and mentoring programs for about 28, 29 years, just some of the fruit of it. Chris Beck, who is the manager at the Stanton Center, was in our program for 3 years. We have Kayla Ziegler, just some of our young people who have gone on, graduated from college, 4.0 average, and is currently working on her master's degree. So it's a lot of wonderful things we have. I'm very thankful for the Partnership for Children, Youth, and Families, the City of Annapolis, the Mayor's Office, EMS, Police, Fire Department, who have been wonderful partners during this process. And I'm moving on to the Meade area. I will be in Van Bachelen starting next week as well. There's a lot of good things going on, a lot of wonderful agencies on this call, and we are willing to partner with any and every one because we want to see that our children and our families are successful. And tomorrow night, Delegate Henson, I don't know if you're aware of this, I was contacted and asked, they wanted to find someone, wanted to talk to someone who's been working between the city, the county, and everywhere for several years. So we will be on a PBS special tomorrow night at 7:00.
Outstanding.
So we're excited about that. There are several other agencies in Annapolis who will be on there as well. So this is not an easy task. And I just applaud all of you who are still working and doing the work, and all the wonderful, wonderful partners, because it's no I, it's a we, and we are stronger together.
Absolutely. Pastor Menendez, thank you for that, for just really outlining some of the scope of the work that your organization is doing. And again, an organization that is meeting the needs of not just the youth that it serves, but the families that it serves as well. So that's wonderful. You mentioned something in there too that I thought was really significant, and I'm going to ask Center of Health how they have changed, if at all, because of the coronavirus and the restrictions that are in place there. And that was delivering services that have a cultural significance. And so I want to ask Center of Health what their operating model has been like with all of the different changes that we've seen and the restrictions that are in place. So Kirsten, can you let us know what's going on at the Center of Health?
Sure. We've also seen a lot of changes. Our leadership and learning program is typically also a site-based program, but thankfully we have a really large volunteer base. And so we were actually able to shift the leadership and learning to a one-on-one mentoring program that happens online. And so each mentor is background checked, and then they are able to meet with the youth every week in order to help them with academics, as well as with checking in with the well-being of the child as well as the family. And so that means art activities. It might be reading with the kid. It might just be talking to them about what's going on at home, as well as checking in with the parents. A lot of our parents have had a hard time accessing resources because of the language barrier. And so they're looking specifically for information in Spanish. And so we are able to make sure that we get that to those families. With the Maria de la Paz program, they were also able to shift quickly to online. There was some resistance because of teenagers to meeting online every day. So our education coordinator checks in individually with each of the participants each day, and then 2 or 3 times a week they participate in full group calls, and then 2 or 3 times a week they have small group calls, which at some points means academics, and at others it's checking in and doing that community building that they do so well at the center. As the summer comes up, we have another shift. Both programs come together for the summer to have 3 weeks of summer camp. thankfully, and because of some of our wonderful partners and our Google Suite, we're able to have a Google Classroom. And so all of our youth program participants, which is about 65 in total, are able to have programming for the summer all summer long. And so it's not just 3 weeks, but they start tomorrow and they go all the way up until the school year starts. They're doing all sorts of cool things online. There's going to be a photography class, which is new this year. And we're also able to incorporate some in-person activities in really small groups. We work with Tennis Alliance, and so in groups of 4, they're able to maintain social distancing and get that exercise as well as see each other. So we're really excited to incorporate tennis through our summer programming. And then as well, some of the kids will be able to do some small hiking trips to visit our parks to make sure that they're getting outside and getting that exercise in addition to all of the academic and fun activities that they're going to do in their Google Classrooms. They're actually divided by age group and they're in small groups. And every group has activities all day, every day that the kids can choose to participate in all of them, or if it's too much, then they can choose some and not participate in others. But we want to make sure that we really have those opportunities for the youth to participate in, because we know that especially during these crazy times that being at home and not having something to do can cause even more stress, even more difficulty for those youth. And of course, we do everything from a culturally responsive model, so we try to incorporate as many of those activities and meet with the families as much as possible. Additionally, we've also started doing food access. The Center of Help did not provide food except for in the youth programs previously, but we now partner with a lot of organizations, but most notably the West Annapolis Pop-Up Pantry and Downtown Hope have been partnering with us to do both deliveries during the week to about 150 families, and on the weekends, on Saturdays, we serve about 250 families. We started at Just Allen Apartments. We had a lot of community members coming to us and saying it was hard for them to get there, so we're now rotating. Last week, we served over 1,000 family members at Boxwood Road and the Admiral Farragut Apartments, and this weekend, we're going to be at Captain Circle in order to serve another sector of the community in the Admiral Oaks community.
Outstanding. Thank you. Thank you for that, for letting us know the way that your organization has pivoted and changed under everything that we've all had to get used to. So I'd like to hear from Linda and Charting Careers. I'll give just a little cheat sheet on it. I had an opportunity to participate in one of your sessions with the Charting Careers kids, the teenagers that you guys have. The thing with teens is that the minute that something is like required, then it becomes not cool anymore and no one wants to do it. And so that's what the internet and computers and all these cameras have become now, because before that was really fun and everyone was into it. And now it's like Google Classroom. And so it's just, another class. But Linda, can you tell us how Charting Careers has been changed at all, your operating model, or what it is that you do, or how you deliver the program as a result of all the different changes in place for COVID-19?
Sure. So can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. So we immediately, once we figured out, the seriousness of everything shutting down, we just decided to start reaching out to all of our families and all of our students because we were really worried about them. We knew that people were losing jobs. We knew that, young people were all of a sudden stuck in the house. Sometimes lots of people in the house, not a lot of privacy, having to do schoolwork online. And what we found was not everybody was connected to technology. So we were, picking up laptops at Annapolis High School and delivering them to people's houses. We were making sure that everybody was connected to some sort of food source, recommended some of the sites that Pastor Menendez has been showing up at with the food distribution, and really trying to make sure everybody was connected. We, got an offer for face masks, homemade face masks. So one of the families had reached out and asked where they could get some. So we delivered face masks. Whatever we could do just to get everybody to a good, stable place. And that was just, a really because we are about building relationships with our families and our students, that is what we really focus on for the first 2 months, quite frankly. And so as far as our curriculum went with working with students, that went out the window. And what we are doing now, though, is starting to think about what that's going to look like for summer, which we don't usually do summer camp. So that whole model's changed too. We're not doing a huge formalized summer camp, but what I've been working on a lot over the past week is coming up with an intern program for our students. Because we know each one of them and we know what they're interested in and we know what their strengths are. And we've done a little bit of fundraising around it. What we're going to try and do is have a job training program for our students, which means you've got to get a resume done. You've got to come on to a couple of online sessions and talk about interviewing skills, talk about networking, talk about how to do informational interviews with adults who are actually in careers that you're interested in. And then on the other hand, we're lining up different organizations and companies and business leaders and asking them if they can come up with some creative ways to engage our people in this. So I can't tell you their name yet because I haven't asked for permission, but just this afternoon I talked to a technology company, and they said, we don't really have a lot of time to manage a student, but we'd be willing to set up some career panels, some online career panels for your students. And we'd be willing to fund them, on this online learning platform, training platform that they have, where they could actually go in and learn a little bit about different careers. So that's pretty exciting. And we figure if we can pay our high school students, if it can be a paid internship, right? It's not going to be full time, most likely. Then we will do that. But I say that, and then we have actually gotten one internship lined up for the summer. One of our students started a couple of weeks ago, and he will be working full time. He's a paid employee of this company as an intern. It's Enclave Data in Eastport. It's a technology company. And so we're excited about that. And then as far as our middle schoolers go, we are looking at, trying to get them hooked up to the Creating Communities program. And also some of our volunteers are interested in doing some kits, art kits, technology kits, that kind of thing. And then our reading program for our elementary school students. We just did a whole book drop off to everybody. We also had some coloring supplies and art supplies and that kind of thing. And what's changed there is that our tutors are kind of starting a one-to-one relationship with them, outside of school through the working still with our staff. But that's something that's a little bit different because usually it's just meeting them at the school. So for us, I think the couple of things that's really helped us is just is being able to get to know our families and our students a little bit, because right in these times we all lean on each other a bit more, we open up a bit more, and and it's definitely been I think really an important time for our organization to start to understand some of the issues that our students and families are going through and understand what we need to do to show up in a better way.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate hearing how you all have responded to the changes that the students need to still get the services that they need and to still have the relationship building that they'll need to be successful. I think the only ones that we haven't heard from is Laura and Stair and Townsend and Backpack Buddies. So Townsend, if you're on, I am super interested to hear how a program whose model is to literally have backpacks provided for students that give them food resources over the summer, how you all have changed to respond, and then also how Friends of the Stanton Center youth programs, how you all have responded when so many youth programs have been just really streamlined over the summer. So can you tell us a little bit about what you all are doing?
Sure, happy to. Well, I mentioned earlier that because of the gracious welcome we got at the Stanton Center for Backpack Buddies, we were able to move our food over there, and the staff there gave out food to each of our Backpack Buddies families that would come to the center once a week if they needed that food as well. And so they would receive a bag of groceries as well as a grocery store gift card to get things, you know, like milk and eggs, things that we couldn't provide out of the Stanton Center. And we also did some things like laundry detergent and dish soap and things like that. So it became certainly a broader offering than we had always done during the school year, but it really was pretty seamless because we had such incredible people at the Stanton Center willing to just transition right in and begin helping to serve the families that had traditionally used the Backpack Buddy program at Annapolis Elementary. About a third of those families are from the Clay Street community, but there are families that are sort of distributed all around downtown. And so they were able to access food there. I also want to give a shout out, though, to the Maryland Food Bank, who amazingly stepped in and have been providing daily meals outside the Stanton Center for the last, I'd say, maybe 8 weeks now. And that was such an incredible augmentation of what we were able to do with our Backpack Buddies food and gift cards. So that has allowed us to continue serving throughout the school year, and probably we will certainly go through not maybe the whole summer, but into the summer. So it'll be a longer program than we normally have done. And then Friends of the Stanton Center, because what we generally do in the school year is support the homework club through volunteers and through just a whole variety of ways. That also had to shut down when the Stanton Center closed its doors to the community being allowed to come inside. But instead, we were able to get books and arts and crafts out into the community. So those children that had already registered for the homework club, we were able to continue meeting needs as best we could and providing things for them to do during these days that they were inside for quite a long time. So it has been a wonderful thing to see how quickly the program was able to, both programs were able to meet needs in the community.
That's amazing. It's just, I have, as a person who is in a leadership position, and we have the responsibility to make sure that people have what they need and the bases are covered. I know that myself, Delegate Jones, Senator Elfred, we certainly could not have done the job that we do without the support of community partners that are right there meeting people's needs every day. I mean, it's one thing to make sure that a system operates in the way that it's supposed to, but on the other end of that, people have their basic daily needs that really became a challenge under COVID-19 in ways that I don't know that we had all saw before or we had all anticipated. And seeing the way that the community programs really changed their operating models and jumped right in when they were even still unknowns in terms of, you know, what was going to be maybe a best way to do something, or, you know, this or that, but people jumped in to make sure that needs were met. And we really saw the communities come together to help each other. So that was incredible, I know, for us to see that happening. So thank you guys for everything that you've done. That's been incredible. If we still have Laura, and Laura wants to add what STAIR has done, then just chime right in at any time that you can hear us, Laura. But if not, we're going to go into the last leg of our conversation. We got an excellent question from someone who commented, and the question came in and she asked us, what can I do to help? Are you all still looking for volunteers? We got another question from someone, and they were asking about how people can access programs. So what I want you to do with the last one as everyone goes around is just let people know what they can do to make sure that this great work continues to be a part of our community. So I'm going to start in the way that I see it on my screen, because I think I've kind of lost track of my order that I thought I had in the beginning. So, Pastor Menendez, if you'll start us off on what people can do to support what you're doing and making sure that we can continue to have this great program in the Robinwood community, the county where you're working.
Absolutely. No matter where you are, we have an opportunity. And I know we're talking about Annapolis, but we would love for you to come and help us at our clubhouse. We are looking for mentors. One of the big pieces that I'm looking for right now, I'm very big about financial management and investment. And I think our children, it's time for them to learn about those things. I've taught it to my children, but we need people just to be able to mentor and talk to, especially our young ladies and, of course, our young men as well. So if you were interested, please contact. I think my information might be screening on the bottom. And Delegate Henson, I was remiss in mentioning, and I think all of us need to feed Anne Arundel. They have been tremendous in supporting, not just in Annapolis, but in Glen Burnie, in Brooklyn Park. I'm talking about 600 meals, 1,000 meals. Thank you, Monica. So please, and of course, the Maryland Food Bank, who are our anchors, and now we are a food bank pantry for both of my locations. And we could use your help on June the 29th, I believe, in Glen Burnie. We are going to be doing a COVID testing on my ministry site with Anne Arundel County Health Department. So we're open. We need your help. We need your support. My biggest thing is if you know how to be kind, and I share with everyone who comes, if you can't be kind and treat the people who come to get food as your guest, that's my word. They're our guests. Just know how to be kind, and we'll do fine.
Outstanding. I'm going to go to Kirsten. Kirsten, can you let us know how people who want to support the Center of Help make sure that you all can continue to do the great work that you're doing?
Yes, thank you. Center of Help, in addition to all of our youth program that's going on, all of our casework is continuing. Our caseworkers are handling 150% or more of the caseload that they normally do. And some of them, it's closer to 200, depending on the type of cases that they're handling. So we could really use your support financially in order to continue the casework program to help the families, because their needs are much more extensive. We're filling out a lot more unemployment applications, assisting with a lot more families who are applying for SNAP benefits, all sorts of applications. Additionally, we do need volunteers. We need bilingual volunteers, but we also need volunteers to work with the kids who don't necessarily need the Spanish support. And so please contact us if you're interested in volunteering, whether it's with the youth on the administrative side. We are looking for summer interns, and they will have the option as to whether to work on site or to work virtually based off of their comfort level. The Center of Help has expanded its programming a lot, so we are relying on a lot of volunteer power right now. And we could really use as many people as will come our way. So please feel free to reach out to us at director@centerofhelp.org, or my phone number is 443-254-7313. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go next to Townsend. Townsend, can you let us know how we can make sure that Backpack Buddies and Friends of Staten Center is still able to support the kids there in the Clay Street and College Creek Terrace area and the work you guys are doing across the city?
Sure, thank you. Well, we can always use financial donations because we provide grocery store gift cards each week, as well as a bag of groceries. So if anyone is interested in doing that, I think my information is probably on the screen, and that we partner with the PTA at Annapolis Elementary School. So they're actually the recipients of any funds that are raised for Backpack Buddies. And then Friends of the Stanton Center also can use, frankly, we could use volunteers. So if you have an interest in working with youth, please let me know. And Backpack Buddies, once school reopens, we always need volunteers to help us pack backpacks each week. And that's a fun thing to do. So thank you.
Thank you. And then Najiba, if you can let us know how we can keep the great work at Seeds for Success going. I know a lot of folks are interested in that as well.
Yeah, come teach us something. If you want to work with the kids in a virtual capacity and just teach us something for 30 minutes, please do. We've had lots of presenters on science and STEM, and also finance and careers, talk about, what you've accomplished and all that great stuff. Come and join us and do that. If you're looking for a longer term volunteer opportunity, we need lots of mentors and tutors. We have a screening process, so just go to our website, which is s4sannapolis.org. And then also, if you were really looking to volunteer on a staff level, we're looking for an AmeriCorps member. You can see this is one of our one of our programs through the AmeriCorps. We have the foster grandparents, but we also have through Volunteer Maryland, we need a full-time volunteer, but this is a position that is stipended. So you would receive a certain amount through that Maryland Corps program. You'd receive lots of training, and this is a volunteer coordinator position. So if you're interested in learning how to motivate and train and screen and recruit volunteers, we'd love to have you. Recent college grad, not recent college grad, no college grad, doesn't matter. If you're interested, just go to our website and just send us an email right there, and that email address will be just perfect.
Perfect. And Lisa, will you tell us how people can access Boys and Girls? Are you guys still accepting new enrollees? What's on the horizon? How can people support? Just all things Boys and Girls. Can you let us know how we can keep the organization a great part of the city of Annapolis?
Absolutely. First and foremost, be our voices. We're a very small staff working with so many kids. So be our voice, help us be a voice and share what's happening within our communities, not just Boys and Girls Club, but all the other nonprofits out there. Right now, we are working diligently with the new amendments to summer camp to open up our clubs for a summer camp program. There's a lot that needs to go into it. So working with the Maryland Department of Health, so we'll be able to open our doors yet again, which we're really excited about, and getting that process going so that we can be open and ready for serving our youth, no matter what that looks like in the future, whether it's in clubs open 24 hours or 12 hours, or how are we going to provide the services that our community needs. In ways to support us, of course, as everyone said, financially, we're our own 501c3. For those who don't know, we do not receive funding directly through Boys and Girls of America. We finance our organization independently, so that's always welcome. But for programming, I'm going to put it out there, any person could be a member of the Boys and Girls Club if you're at the ages of 6 to 18. We have an application. We say it's a $20 membership, but we will never turn anyone away who cannot provide a $20 membership. That membership offers all our services all year long. If you're a member during the school year, you are first person in line to be allowed a slot into our summer camp program. So anyone can be a member. There's an online application if you go onto our website, which is on the screen. Also, any person who's interested, any parent out there who just doesn't know what yet to do with their kids, log on, go on to our virtual programs, go on to see what's happening. Come by, get a next week. If you're on June 23rd in our Bywater community or out in the Mead Village area, come by, get some food. We are there for everyone in any way we can do. Email us, let us know how we can serve the community better. If we don't hear from you, we don't know what you need. So please let us know, and we will fight diligently to make sure that our communities are served.
Thank you. Thank you. And Linda, if you will let us know about charting careers, about how people can plug in, about what they can do to make sure that charting careers can continue to do great work in Annapolis. I know that folks want to know how they can be supportive.
Sure, thank you. Well, first of all, I just wanted to give a shout out to something else that Charting Careers, their executive director, Erin Snell, has been involved in, and that is the collaborative partnership of nonprofits. I know a lot of people here also are working on that, but basically, a lot of the youth development nonprofits are getting together and trying to figure out how to combine resources, how to best support our young people in Annapolis, because a lot of times we're serving the same families and the same young people, and we want to make sure that we are all working together. So I just wanted to mention that because I know that some of smaller nonprofits and smaller programs, like the one that's running out of with Dee Ward at Newtown Development Corporation, Kenny Starks and Vanessa Bright are both doing some programs with Maryland Hall this summer. Maryland Hall just actually put out their information today about some programs. And then the amazing Miss Ron Shea Clark is doing some virtual stuff with her Pitt Moyer program at Reach. So all of these programs, we all need support. We need donations. We need volunteers. We need mentors. We need people to listen to what our needs are, to what our young people's needs are, and to see if they can step up and meet those needs. And that's, I feel like we're starting to go through a transition in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County where we're all starting to understand that we have to work together, that our communities need to become mentoring communities. And, it takes a village, as they say. And I think it's time for that new vision and putting our young people first.
Outstanding. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. That's outstanding. Pastor Steve, I think you are bringing us home on this. What can people do to make sure that creating communities can continue to do beautiful works of art, like the murals that are in the rec center there, the Rosalie Mitchell Center in Eastport Terrace and Harbor House, and the one that's in the music studio that Pastor Menendez talked about in the Robinwood community? What can we do to make sure we don't lose opportunities like that?
Yes. Well, thank you. We are always looking for mentors who would like to come and join us and be involved in some of the after-school programs. We're also looking for volunteers that will help support them, that kind of walk alongside them. We have moved our arts mentorship program to an online format. It's been a major undertaking, and we're almost at that point where we're ready to begin in July. And we have 6 mentors that are professionals in their field of art and music and science, and they're going to actually be working with 70 to 100 kids, depending on how many we finally get, 4th through 8th graders. And so we're excited for that. But we also use the Performing and Visual Arts program from the Anne Arundel County Public School System for interns who come in and help us. And they've been wonderful every year. And this year they're going to be helping us through the online process. We do have some spots that are still available for students that if they would like to register for this online camp. They will meet twice a week online for about an hour each time to do some arts, do some STEM, do some music. And they can email me directly and I will get them the information for registering. Again, it's 100% scholarship free. So this is an opportunity for anybody that is, whether they can afford a normal camp or not. And I know there are a lot of parents out there that they've just spent 3 months teaching their kids online and they don't know what am I going to do with them during the summer, and the programs aren't open. How can we do this? This is an opportunity for them. Even if they can't afford to pay to have a program, their children can be a part of this. So let them email me. We'll get them involved in that. And again, we're always looking for volunteers to walk alongside us, to do the things such as the feeding programs that we've been doing with passing out food, to help us with our after school programs, to be there. We just brought on a counselor this year who's contacting families one-on-one and talking to them about what are their needs. And from that, we're going to be able to see that there are some other needs we can fill by community members. I want you to know, I live in Eastport. I love this area here in Eastport, and this is a community that whenever we reach out and we go through online forums or other things and we say there's a need, people step up and they're willing to help financially. They're willing to come out and help us in those areas. And so it's just a great community to be part of here in Annapolis. And so I encourage those of you that are watching this, plug into one of these organizations. Say, I have an ability, I can help. I may just have time on my hands, whatever, and get involved in helping and reaching out to those who need your help.
Outstanding. Thank you all for joining me today and for everyone that's tuned in and watched today. And if you saw this and you thought of someone you know that could benefit, that would have a great time at one of these programs, or if you yourself would have a great time experiencing some of these things with some of the young people that these organizations work with, then you have the information, you know how to reach out, and we know that the summer is just getting started. So the opportunity to engage and to continue to have a fun and safe summer is just getting underway. So I want to thank everybody that's tuned in. You can share this video, host a watch party, share it with anyone that you know that has someone in their life who could benefit from any of the programs that you saw today. So on behalf of myself, my entire District 30 team, Delegate Jones, Senator Elfreth, I want to thank each of the organizations for joining me. And with that, I will say, have a good evening.